This next team that we've talked about kind of a lot this week, honestly. We've talked about this game about being a trap game for the Ravens, right? Lamar Jackson may not play in this game. He's been injured all week, has not practiced. Now, they're saying it's like an ankle and a back injury, but it is what it is. I think it's all fluff. I think Lamar Jackson is going to play, but when we look at this Denver Broncos game versus the Baltimore Ravens, who needs this game more? Who is in a must-win situation come Sunday, week 9? The Broncos, 10th in my power rankings, sitting at 5-3 on the season, second place in the AFC West. They are in the thick of the playoff race. They are in the thick of the AFC playoff race. They're doing good things in Denver right now. The Ravens are sitting at 5-3 on the season. Started off 0-2, had 5-game winning streak, and then they dropped a heartbreaker to the Browns, but they are firmly in the second place spot in the AFC North. That's right, I said second, behind the best team, the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Broncos have a rough floor stretch coming up. They play the Chiefs, they play the Falcons, they play the Raiders, and then they play the Browns. Chiefs and Raiders are both on the road. Falcons and Browns are both at home. The Ravens have the Bengals, Steelers, Chargers, Eagles in the upcoming 4 weeks. So when we look at the schedule, we see what they've done, we see what they're going to do. Who needs this game more? Who needs to win this game more? And earlier this week, when we spoke about this game, I said the Ravens were in a must-win spot. The Ravens were in an opportunity to, if they lose this game, that they could lose 3, 4, 5 games in a row. I was worried they were going to start second-guessing themselves. I was worried they were going to change everything that they've been doing and start back to square one. And that was bad news for the Baltimore Ravens. The reason why I said that was because they bring in Deontay Johnson, right? They bring in Deontay Johnson. I thought they were going to, they needed to win this game to solidify, yeah, he's here, but we're still going to do what we want. But no matter if the Ravens win, lose, or draw in this game, they still have playoff dreams. No matter the outcome, they are going to be in the playoffs come in 2 months, right? Win, lose, or draw, the Ravens are going to be A-okay. The Broncos, however, have been achieving all season long. Their defense is playing top-notch. Offense is getting better each and every week, but I feel they have been overachieving all season long. They have a huge showdown versus Kansas City next week. Don't be overlooking the Ravens into the Chiefs. They shouldn't be, but let's just say they do it, right? If the Broncos want a chance at the playoffs, if the Broncos think they can make it to the playoffs this season, they need to win this week for the Baltimore Ravens. They need to go into Baltimore, they need to compete, and they need to win. And if they don't do it this week, they need to do it next week versus the Kansas City Chiefs. The Broncos need this win more. The Broncos need to go into Baltimore, Maryland, and the Broncos need to play a damn good football game, and the Broncos need to beat the Ravens. The reason I'm saying that is because I'm not worried about the Ravens moving forward. They always find ways to win. They always find ways to make it into the playoffs. Pending a season-ending injury by Lamar Jackson, they will get 9, 10 wins, 11 wins this season. It's going to happen. I'm going to take it from James once again. The Broncos need to start stacking wins. Yes, they're playing good football. They're 5-3. Defense is ranked number 2 in the NFL. Bo Nix and the offense is getting better each and every week. They go into putting 9 points a game up to 30 points a game, right? They are scoring at will. They need to continue that. They need to continue that versus a great team like the Baltimore Ravens. Because, let's just be honest, Mark D said it best himself. Who have the Broncos played this season? Who have the Broncos beaten this season? Yeah, they're 5-3, but who have they played? Who have they beaten? It's time to put some statement wins out there. It is time to put a staple on the Denver Broncos season. It starts this week. That's why they're in a must-win situation. Guys, in the comments below, I know you're watching over there on YouTube Shorts and YouTube.com and, of course, Facebook.com. We are live every Monday through Friday, 1:30 East Coast time, here live for 2 hours. Live interactive show. I see all the comments. Who needs this game more? James Frank says the Broncos need it more. And I think the Ravens get upset again. Bo Nix has a great game against that busted Ravens defense. And James, I concur with that. I concur of everything that you just said. We have spoke a lot about the Ravens this week. I have done a lot of research on the Ravens this week. Their defense is terrible. Their defense is terrible. And Bo Nix and the Broncos are improving each and every week. Ever since that Jets game, was it 10-9, I think, in that rainy day, and the Jets defense was supposed to be so great, yada, yada, yada. Bo Nix had a terrible game, like 97 yards passing. Terrible. He's improved each and every week. That offense is getting more confidence each and every week. And then, yes, the Ravens defense is busted, but they still got that Ravens name on them, right? The Ravens name carries a lot on defensive standards, right? Beating a team like the Baltimore Ravens is going to really catapult you. When we talk about building foundations, building a culture like we were talking about the Falcons earlier, the Broncos are building a foundation. The Broncos are building a culture, and this win would be great for the culture, great for their foundation, and a great catapult into the Kansas City Chiefs game. The Kansas City Chiefs did beat the Ravens by a toe in week 1. It was about a 7.5-inch toe, but it was still a toe, right? And if the Broncos can beat the Ravens by more than a toe, confidence is killer in the NFL. Confidence is killer. Laura says, I am torn on this one too. And that is what makes this so exciting, so compelling to talk about, is that you can make arguments for either team. You can say, yeah, the Ravens need it more because they lost to the Browns. Then they play the Steelers, and then they play the Eagles, and they do this. And that's what makes it so tough. And what makes it so fun. Makes it so fun. And that's why I love NFL. This is why I love football. James Frank says, I'm saying the game is no significance really to the Ravens. Henry will win games in times of importance. This game is important, James. This game could keep the Ravens out of the AFC North title. So it's definitely important, but I do agree with the Broncos.